Good afternoon, good evening, I guess.
Yeah,
Feels like afternoon still.
I know. It's so bright and sunny out there.
I know. Cool. After that 96 degrees.
Ugh, God, I'm fine with cool.
Yeah, really, exactly. Jeez, unbelievable.
It is. How's Sharon?
Sharon is good.
Excellent.
I'm so happy that I didn't get COVID, let me tell you. Oh my God.
Oh my
That
God.
was such a scare because, you know, we were there. I mean, we were with her having breakfast. She was fine. I don't know. We left probably it was around 10 or something like that. And then she texted me at 11 o'clock. She was totally 11 o'clock that night.
Yeah.
She was totally sick and she tested positive.
Oh my God.
And she just tested negative today. That was 10 days ago.
Oh, good.
So she
good.
had it and we didn't get it. You know, the person she lives with, Barry, he didn't get it. So the
Thank
three of
goodness.
us, Chris and I didn't get it and Barry didn't get it, but she got it. And it was like weird, you know, that we would be sitting there right with her for an hour or so, you know, having breakfast, didn't get it. She's living with him. She didn't get it. I don't understand these germs, how they work.
Maybe it's something to do with how the vaccines work for some people and others just get mild cases. And I didn't get it when I had dinner with my brother a couple months ago and hugged him goodbye. I mean, I didn't catch it. It was very weird.
Yeah.
Hey, Gwen. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Gwen.
Hi. Nice to see all of you.
Good to see you.
I'm going to mute because I've got the snoring dogs all around me again. So I'll mute.
Oh, is that what that weird sound is, huh?
It's Perlene. She's sleeping.
Well, let's see. Janet's away. Steve sent me an email saying he was going to be here, but would be on the phone. He was hoping he would be able to get service.
Bill will be here. He just found a tick on himself, so he's taking care of it.
It's the season for ticks. I hate those things. They're almost as bad as COVID. Maybe they're worse. I don't know. Oh boy. All right, well, here comes Christine.
Hiya.
Oh, everybody's checking in here.
On a lovely spring day.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful? I ran into Melinda on the road today when I was walking. I haven't seen her since we finished with Sustainable. It was so good to see her. She said she's very busy planting.
Hope that wasn't a literally run into.
No. Of
Have
course.
you ever seen her garden, Loretta?
No,
Oh, it's really nice.
really.
Puts my garden to shame.
Huh.
Everything is neat and ordered and beautiful. And
Well, that's how she was with Sustainable. I mean, she just followed all the things. I would go, Melinda, where did you, she would just read it thoroughly and then just do it. I mean, it's like drove me nuts. All these little, you have to do this and then dot that I and put that in. And she really helped me a lot. But of course, she worked for a big corporation and that's, I guess, what you did all the time, all that stuff. But fortunately, I never had to do that in my
Yeah, really. Yuck.
Well, I guess we can start because it's after 7, and Steve was hoping to get on via phone, but he wasn't sure he had service. He's also had hard times with allergies, so along with a lot of other people I know. So
It's that time of year.
yeah, and let's see, I haven't gotten any mail. I did, well, when we get down, I can talk about that when we get down there. Let's see, is there any leftovers that people want to mention regarding the public hearing thing, which now the hearing is over. Oh, that must be Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hi, everybody. I'm here, at least for now,
Okay,
having
good.
some issues, but
All right, good.
What was that?
Yeah.
Are there any updates? Did you say there were any updates on the hearing, Loretta?
No, it's just that the hearing is over and now they're gonna do their deliberations, which I believe is the second.
No,
Monday.
March 4th, May 4th. I think it's May 4th. Oh, is it the
It
second?
can't be May 4th. Because Janet's not coming back till the 6th, 5th or 6th or something. I think it's the second Monday is when they have their meetings.
Okay.
But anyway, you can check on the website and see they'll post it, I'm sure. Okay, so of course, our day that we had for cleaning was totally,
Washed out.
absolutely washed. I mean, beyond washed out.
It washed all the trash into the rivers.
Right. But
Ugh.
Pam has this wonderful rain barrel that she got.
Oh, that Gwen's
Gwen's help. I think Gwen helped, right?
Yes, she did.
And so we're wondering how did the rain barrel perform during that deluge?
Terrific. It's full. It did not overflow or anything. It's
Wow.
not leaking. I'm just so in love with it. And thank you, Gwen, for finding it for me. I'm so excited about it.
Wow. You got it just in time.
I did. I mean, and I didn't realize my handyman set it up. I guess on Friday, he got it seated level and the spigot was open. So the night it started raining, it just washed right through. And when I got up in the morning, I went and looked at it and I was like, there's water trickling out. So I closed it up. And by the time the storm was over, it was full. So
Wow.
I'm very excited to use it.
Wow. Huh. That's
Cool.
amazing. Whoa. Pretty nice. So
Yeah, and it's
since-
big. It's like 55, 60 gallons of water.
Huh. So that's a lot of water.
Yeah, it is.
And
Yeah.
that wasn't during the night. It was raining pretty hard during the night.
Yeah.
Because I think that's when they had the fire at the
Eastford.
Congregational Church in Eastford.
Yeah.
Oh, right, right.
And it's totally destroyed.
Oh, man.
There's nothing but the chimney left. I guess there's a little bit of the room off to the side, but basically it's totally gone.
Oh, man.
Oh, that. Which church is this?
Eastford Congregational. What was it, like 1824? It's a really old church.
It's an old church. Yeah, yeah. And they were going to have a talk there by Robert Sorson about stone walls on Friday.
Oh,
I think first it was going to be where was it going to be? It was going to be at the town hall, and then that way they figured it wasn't big enough to fit people, so they moved it to the church. So now they're hoping to do it at this Eastford school. Anyway, so back to the trash thing. So since we couldn't do the trash thing, and Christine had seen something that Mansfield was doing about a month-long trash pickup time. And so I had asked Tom from Neighbors to put in a little ad. I asked him just to put a box around what you sent, Christine, and I think he's going to do that. And I said, charge us like $30 or whatever the ad is. So that should go in. And I think we will need to put it on the town website.
Pam put it in Neighbors, I saw. Didn't you put,
Yes, and I'm gonna continue posting,
yeah,
for the whole month of May to
I
remind
mean, not
people.
Neighbors, the Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Facebook.
Facebook, right,
Right.
right. And there's, it's on the website, I think Karen might be back now. She's the one who does the posting at the town hall. I know she was off for a while, so for a week or something. So I'll check and see so we can have something up on the website. Talked with our new librarian, Ann, who is wonderful. And she was more than happy to accommodate us. So we will have the vests and the bags and the pickup sticks there at the library. So if anybody asks you during library hours, you can just go up to the desk and ask, and you can just take them, and people don't have to bring them back. We would hope that they could, well, obviously they're not going to bring the bags back, but I mean, the vests and the pickup sticks, they can just, take them and use them. And we're not going to use the town hall because I think hopefully this will bring people into the library. That would be a good thing, but I think it's too bothersome to have the town hall and the library. The library should work as well as anything else. And there's always someone there at the desk, and you never quite know with the town hall. And so I think the library is actually now open more hours than the town hall is, because I think they close at 3 every day. So hopefully if people ask you about that, because I may see postings somewhere. I'm wondering, do you think we should put some sort of a flyer up in the library on that bulletin board downstairs?
Could do that. I can maybe put something together.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I'll put that on my list.
So other than just talking to people about it, and they can do it at any time, and if they're so motivated, they can email me, and that's right in the ad there to email me.
It was in the Facebook thing too.
Yeah. So hopefully that will work and people will do it. And are we doing this coming Sunday, Pam?
Doing what?
Doing a pickup?
We did not schedule a rain date because we have the whole month of May going on.
Yeah, right.
So
Okay, good.
I told them, and on Facebook, that rather than rescheduling, we
Yeah,
were
right, that
asking
makes
people
sense.
to volunteer during the month.
Right, great.
I saw signs on the road. I think it was in Pomfret there, a trash pickup kind of thing too. Now I can't remember, but I saw that the other day. There was a sign on the road, a couple signs.
Yeah,
on
I
the
thought
road.
it was last weekend they did it, I think.
Yeah, and then there was some other town too. So a bunch of towns around here are doing, clean up your roads.
Right. You certainly need it, right?
Oh, God.
Interested, Pam,
Well-
especially when we were away, we went to Southeast Asia, and in one of the towns where we were in Java, they had a mandate that the way that you got to use public transportation was you have to have at least 2 plastic bottles for recycling, and the transportation was free, but you had to bring your bottles to the bus or whatever you were using. I thought that was very clever.
Wow.
That is cool.
Wow. That's a very
They
good
actually
idea.
had recycling stations all around in there. I was impressed.
Wow.
Unfortunately, that still encourages use of those things, but we need not to use them, period. But
In some of these places, it's kind of, it's encouraged to use the bottles because you don't know about the water and how you're going to relate to the water.
yeah, but you don't need to buy a new bottle. You could bring your own. And
Oh, well, of course, but anyway.
yeah.
Well, it didn't have to be your bottle. Could be anybody's bottle.
Yeah, that you picked up off the road, right? That would be cool. It should have, they should say, but it has to have some dirt on it. Some road dirt.
Okay, so that's all in place. We don't need to do anything. We have the equipment and all that. I just wanted to mention that on Mother's Day, we'll be starting the farmer's market again for the 17th season, which I can't really believe, but
I
it is.
know, yay.
And Jackie from the Willow Valley Farms is the new market master. She's gotten everything all organized, all set up. She's already sent me several emails about who that she has. Pretty much most people are coming back. Julie will not come back. She was our old market master, and she and Todd now have their own stand right at their farm. So I don't know how many markets they're doing. They may not do very many, but they probably do Putnam because Putnam's a really big market. But in comparison, Ashford is a relatively small market. But there's a new relatively new farmers, and they're joining us. They were quite excited. I think Jackie met them when they were doing a Meet the Farmers thing in Willimantic. And the other people, I think, are coming back. So it should be a good group, and she's keeping an eye out for anybody else that is interested in coming. So it should be really good. I don't think the Boy Scouts sometimes have done their plant sale on that whole weekend, but we talked to the scoutmaster and he said no, unless they end up with a lot of plants on Saturday, they're not going to be there on Sunday. So it should be probably, we won't need to share that, although in the beginning there's usually not a lot of people who are there because a lot of people don't have any stuff, like the fruit. Then the woman who does the fruit doesn't come until June, usually, depending on what's happening. So
Well,
there'll be,
the Boy Scouts go across the street. They're usually in the parking lot of the of Knowlton.
I don't know if they are. They used to be right there next to the post office.
Oh, I thought they used to be next at Knowlton. Okay. So Julie, I guess already, I mean, not Julie, Jackie, there was an ad in Facebook for the farmer's market again, too. A nice, bright, colorful ad for that. So that was cool.
Yeah, she's quite on top. Well, I mean, she's been part of the market almost from the beginning, so she knows the ropes, she knows the people, she knows what to do, and just does it, and you know, has really good vegetables.
Wonderful vegetables.
I think she's also growing grain for Westford Hills on some of her other fields. So
I was at the co-op yesterday. Have you seen those mushrooms from the Canterbury, let's see, Fennel Forest Farm in Canterbury? They have this basket, 8x8 green, produce cardboard thing with 4 different kinds of mushrooms, a big giant chunk of lion's mane, a big giant chunk of blue oyster, a smaller chunk of blue oyster, some maybe a different kind, and then chestnut mushrooms, all in this container. They were so beautiful. I bought them. They're really cool. But that's what they grow. So I looked them up. That's what they grow in Canterbury. It doesn't look like you can visit the farm, but they're at a lot of the farmers markets around.
oh wow.
Gorgeous mushrooms. Oh my God, they're just visually gorgeous and delicious.
Yeah,
So-
lion's mane is lion's mane is a great healing mushroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's good. Well, the blue oysters are just gorgeous. And the chestnut, they were all gorgeous. It was really neat. So they're at the co-op. I went to their website on Facebook, and they're all over the place. So they're at the co-op, they're at a couple other farmers markets, kind of all over the place, but really
Wow.
interesting new group of farmers, mushroom farmers. That's all they do is those mushrooms
Huh. Jeez.
on wood chips and grain. I didn't know you grew on grain, but maybe
Huh.
over hops or something. I have no idea, but Anyway, they're really cool.
Yeah, yeah, they grow on things other things can't grow on, so it's
Right.
really
Wood chips.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I put down here new programs because I think earlier I'd mentioned about we should do something about amounts of trash generated or how we handle trash or something to have people because I don't think that people have any idea about how to handle their trash and what's recyclable and what's not and what happens to the trash and everything. So it seems to me that it might be interesting if we could set up a program to have people, understand, first of all, how much of our money is being spent on trash, because it's a lot, and that it used to be that we didn't pay for recyclables, now we do. And how they negotiate the transfer station, which, it's changed sometimes and everything, but I think people just go there and it's hit or miss. I mean, I've been there and seen people throw plastic bags in the recycle bin, so.
And then lots of black plastic and green plastic, which they don't take.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, we did that last year. Remember, Loretta, we sat at tables, you sat at tables at the farmer's market, and someone had this, and Pam had displays.
Yep, Pam did a good job of creating, she does have a display, and certainly we can do that at the
Farmer's
summer
market.
concert series.
Yeah, do that again. Yeah.
But I was thinking more of like a dialogue. Yes, Gwen?
Well, I'm thinking you're saying how it's just so expensive for this, but other towns, we pay a lot in taxes. I'd be willing to pay more if they would come to the house and we each had a recycle bin and a regular trash bin in front of everybody's house a certain day of the week, like they do in all these other towns. You drive down the road a certain day, everybody's trash is out and it's part of your taxes. I mean, it seems like if it's that high, why can't we just, and if it's so complicated to separate this from that, why can't we just pay more and have it like other towns?
Well, that wouldn't solve the problem. People would still put the wrong things in the recycled cans.
How do other towns deal with this?
The same way, they throw half of it in the landfill. And only 10% of the plastic gets recycled anyway. It's, the real point is don't use this shit. That's the real point. But, because recycling is a scam. It's basically a scam. It is not, it doesn't make any sense in the long run. So, let's recycle the things that are recyclable, but realizing that only 10% of even those are going to get recycled.
Well, I just read an article this weekend that said plastics that are labeled number 1 and 2 are the most recyclable.
Right.
I think they're clear. It's clear plastic. All the other numbers going down 5, 7, 6, whatever, rarely get recycled.
None of the others get recycled.
Right.
And
Yeah.
none of the others.
You know.
Only ones that are recycled from 1 and 2 are bottles and jugs. That's it.
Right, the clear ones.
And glass. Most glass gets ground up for road surfaces. Glass doesn't even get recycled in great quantities. I mean, it's a scam.
Now, cans do get recycled. Cans are a good thing.
Aluminum cans do get recycled.
Aluminum cans. Yep.
Because that's cost effective for the recycler people. So other things aren't cost effective.
Plastics are not.
No, they aren't. And apparently glass isn't really either, especially if it's not totally clear. So, to me, the message is stop using this stuff. Bring your own water jug with you. Bring your own containers with you to bring home your leftovers from restaurants, bring your own bags to the supermarkets, I mean, that's the message. That's
Well,
really,
that could be the message, Christine, that we could do a whole program on. Yes, there's not a lot of recycling and here's some things. I think a lot of times it's just convenient. People, like, for instance, if I'm driving somewhere, I'll have a cup of coffee. I can't bring in my coffee cup
I know.
because they won't accept it.
Yep.
So there's only a few places that I can go to, which is absurd.
Yep. Yep.
So that if I want to stop there, I have to use one of their cups, one of their paper cups, which has plastic in it.
Plastic on it, so that's not recyclable, right?
That
Right.
doesn't make sense because like at Dunkin' Donuts, they will sell their Dunkin' Donuts thermos.
Thermos, you can
They're
bring
selling
that
it,
in.
They should let you fill it there.
They do.
Good.
You can refill their thermos there.
Well, I have
The bottom line, it should be not up to us. It should be up
Right.
to
Right.
the people who are selling things that are put in plastic containers and wrapped in plastic and swaddled in plastic.
Swaddled in
and-
plastic, yeah.
So, doing a campaign to request manufacturers to stop doing that is, it shouldn't be up to us to be responsible. We can't be responsible for all that plastic.
Yeah, I mean, we should have a campaign to write manufacturers, pick a manufacturer, pick the somebody at Staples who wraps the SD card in a half pound of plastic, to write letters to them to say, please stop this,
The three biggest are Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and what's the third one? Nestle's? Is that right? I think it's Nestle's.
Could be, I don't know.
Three biggest plastic producers
Yeah.
for their product.
I just wanted to say what my mother went through in New York. On Long Island, there was a rule, it was actually a law. You had to separate your trash and the plastics had to be washed. And there was they picked them up in two different spots. I mean, in your yard, you had the recycles that were plastics and then you had regular trash. And if you accidentally put one in the other, you could get fined. And you had to have these cleaned. The plastic had to be cleaned.
Yeah, great. Can you imagine that, getting that through in our town? We can't even take down the burned house that's been there for four years.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
Well, it is an issue and part of it is, well, Pam, you know this because you've done a lot of research on things of trying to find alternatives.
Oh, God. There aren't a lot. There really aren't.
It's landfill. It goes to landfill.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
It really is.
So that it's like in telling people, yeah, they shouldn't do this, but if we're not able to come up with some alternatives for them.
Well, I think the idea of having a campaign to write, maybe we could have a campaign to send postcards and letters. We could provide postcards, or we could provide something to send to PepsiCo. Pick one company. One company a month to do a campaign for everybody. Write a letter. I mean, that's something.
And provide the model for the,
Right.
things for people to list.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Only takes a minute.
Right.
Well, we could do that, like we could put in the citizen, if it's going to continue, we're not quite sure.
Right.
Supposedly Bill is saying he has someone he thinks he can do it, but if it were to continue, then we could decide at our meeting, okay, we're gonna, for June, we will do this company, and then we could put it in for like June. Like, for instance, we could say, all right, let's get, you know, the address of Coca-Cola, for instance,
Yeah.
and provide a write-up that says, we want you to, you know, stop assaulting us with plastic, or however,
Right.
you know, we could do that. That would be doable
Yeah, it would.
to do
I
that.
have a question. What you said about the town newsletter,
Yeah.
what's, we were gone, and all of a sudden I got something from somebody that said, well, we're gonna put it in the Citizen, but we don't know if it's gonna continue. What happened? Did I?
It's a long story.
Well, Sherry resigned from doing the editing of it, and so now they need to find someone else to do it. And until that happens, there's nobody putting it together. And I think it's all about editorial things and what gets put in and what doesn't get put in and who determines that. And it's kind of a confusing point right now that they need to clarify, I guess, is the thing. And it's really too bad, because Sherry spent many hours putting this thing together every month.
Right.
And getting people to send in their articles and everything. It was a labor of love. And most of the time she was doing it on the weekend. I know that because I would send her things on a Saturday or a Sunday, and she would get right back to me. So it was a lot of extra effort and work. So, and I think part of it is, what can you put in there, because it's a town publication, and there's legal ramifications of what gets put in there. Like, for instance, Conservation Commission, as a commission of the town, it's important that we represent the town and not just go off in a crazy manner, or whatever. So I think that's the kinds of things, the questions that need to be asked. And if someone from the town who's a town employee is putting it together and editing it, that means that legally the town would be responsible if something offends someone or is against the law or whatever, all of those kinds of things. And, you know, it's a litigious, what do you say, that litigious society now, so.
Right.
That's really.
Everybody
sad.
wants to
wondered
sue.
if something had happened that made it.
Yeah, there was. It's a long story.
My daughter, when she was in high school, she did it for part of her senior project. She helped put it together. And it was, in the old days, you paid $6 a month if you wanted this to come to your house, and it wasn't done through the town. It wasn't an automatic thing. Oh, so my daughter was a writing major, and she went and she interviewed the new principal at the school, and she wrote up a beautiful article. And then Beverly would tell her, okay, we need a poem, you know, on this topic. So then she'd write it. And so she kind of did like a little mini internship, and we could get high school students to do that. But I didn't think about the legal parts of it, because that's something
Well,
new.
But you said that wasn't part of the town. But
Right.
the beauty of the Citizen is that it goes to every single mailbox. That's the beauty of it. And that would be a shame to lose, you know, that this is one thing that goes to every single mailbox in the town. And I think that's really important. But the other thing, so listen to the last Board of Selectmen meeting. They were talking about this, and, you know, so now they're trying to find someone who will do the editing. And also Sherry was on telling them about the program she uses, and they talked to Tom King. And Tom uses a different, more sophisticated program, and so they were concerned that they didn't really want to spend the time or the money to do that. So, you know, it's in kind of limbo.
Right.
But, you know, Tom was interested in helping them, so, but I don't know. I think he would do it much less easily.
Right.
Sherry had been doing it, so. So it's up in the air.
So how long have we had this citizen, if you count the old one too?
Decades.
That's what I thought. It's been
Decades.
decades.
There are old copies in the library from, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, a long time.
But it hasn't been that long that it's gone to everybody. That
Right,
it was part of the town budget, that nobody had to pay for it. It just went to every mailing address in town.
right.
And that was an advantage. I mean, yes, a lot of people didn't read it, but there was access. So
Yeah.
anybody who said, well, I didn't know, it's like, well,
Well, you
you're
got
a
it.
citizen, it's right at your doorstep
Right.
kind of thing. So, and it was a great way to advertise things, like programs that you're doing.
And the
farmers
ABA,
markets, stuff like that.
the ABA had 2 pages of ads from people, local businesses.
Right.
I
right.
think it's an important thing, and I hope they can get it dealt with.
Yeah,
They
because I
really
know,
do. What they really need is an editor. They need someone who will do it,
right.
and I assume it's a paid job, even though, Sherry was working more than she was paid, but I assume she got something.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But hopefully they'll be able to resolve it, because I think it is a resource for the town. That would be a shame to lose it after we've had it, because a lot of people don't always go on the town website, and so that.
Or on Facebook, right,
Right.
or the Current, or whatever.
Right. So let's hope. But the other thing, as we were talking, I was thinking maybe we could talk to the library and see if the library would be interested in helping us out with this campaign to write to companies and stuff. And we could have, some postcards there that
Right.
people could use and see. Pam, when is your next library meeting?
Next month, but I'll be in probably tomorrow morning. I'll talk to Ann about it.
Yeah, and
And
see, I
ask
mean,
her.
See how she feels about it and how we could work it out, so it wouldn't be that much extra work, but it would be a great way for us to be interacting together, I think, and,
Besides postcards, we could maybe have, postcards would be the cheapest. I was thinking we could have a pad of paper and envelopes and a template with several different templates, and people could sit at the table in the library and write a letter, but they could read it. The postcard makes more sense.
the postcard would, I think, would be more likely to do. And my thought was that if we had a sample postcard
Or
and
several.
either wrote them and that people just had to sign them, that might be the way to get more people. People might do it, but I don't think a lot of people would take the time to do that. But if we just had the postcards there already written out,
Right.
people could just sign their name and address.
Right.
Which I think the name and the address would be better, because then it more validates you, I think.
Yeah.
And then we could just mail them all at once, or.
Yeah.
I
So-
think it'd be kind of cool to get the school involved with children just signing their first name and age, sending a postcard that says something like, help us protect, the earth for our future,
Right.
and get rid of the plastics,
Yeah.
have children involved, because they're going to inherit this disgusting mess.
And they go to the library.
Yep.
that'd be
We have
cool.
programs at the library every week
That would be
for
cool.
children. So, I'll talk to Ann about that too and see if she wants to get involved in it. But yeah, I think kind of getting children
Yeah.
involved is a good route to take.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, the teacher that did that whole anti-idling thing at the school, she might be a good resource, and she might want to include that at some point in her lesson plans and everything. I can't remember what her name is. Do you remember her name, Stephanie?
I
No.
can call and ask the
Wait,
school.
maybe Steve knows. Steve?
No, I don't think. Yeah, I think some clean energy, because I know she sent the email to Susan, I believe. So
Oh,
Susan would probably, I mean, we can find that out. I think it might even, it is in the sustainable things too.
All right.
If we check back and see, I mean, we can find it easy enough. I just wondered if anyone knew of the person's name. But anyway, we can find that out, and she might want to do it, or might know someone else at the school. I
mhm.
don't know, I don't really know anyone at the school. I wish we can talk with Marion.
Right.
Well, the other thing too is that if the postcards are going to be in the library, kids do go to the library,
Exactly.
and it could be, it's equal opportunity, whether it's an adult or a child writing a postcard, doesn't matter. You still put your name in, where you live, and it's equally valid.
But
Mhm.
there could, I think Pam's right. There could be two postcards.
There
One for,
could be postcards for kids and postcards for
Right,
adults.
yeah,
yeah.
that would be cool.
Okay, so that's a project we can work on and see where it goes and what direction, and whether the library wants to help us, and perhaps the school and everything, to see if we can get something going with that. Because kids usually they're very articulate about saying, why are we doing this?
Right, right. Thank God.
Why
Yeah,
are we
I'll
polluting
talk
our
to
earth?
Ann tomorrow about it, and I'll let you know, Loretta.
Okay, great.
Speaking of trash, on Saturday, at one of the libraries I work at, we used all recyclables. We got the kids to build these little houses out of using an old milk bottle, and they cut into it and made a house with windows and doors, and then it had the little things saying invest in our planet, and they all kinds of things were attached to this, that instead of throwing them out, they made these beautiful projects, and they held it all up at the end for a photograph, and they took these home. So
And then they ended up in the landfill.
I hope, no, they were really proud of them. They're holding them up, and
When they got a couple of years older, their parents threw them out and they went in the landfill.
they put little
Christine, all right, come on, let's,
homes, gnome homes. They made little things that live inside them.
Uh-huh. Okay. Cute.
well, there are some artists that do a lot of that, as part of the Ashford Arts thing of taking recycled products. Well, Yvonne was doing that. I have the candles that she made, so a lot of artists do that. Repurpose.
Yeah.
Repurpose is important.
Like it. Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody else have any other business that they want to check in with?
I guess so. The final meeting, I'm meeting with the group, the Keep Ashford Rural Group, on Thursday. We're having a little get together, and I don't know what else we can do. What we're sort of like waiting for PZC to make their decision and stuff, but I don't know. It feels like we should be doing something, about this text amendment thing. It just.
Well, I think that the group did a lot, Christine. I think
I
that
know we did. I know.
there's only so much you can do, because it all gets down to what those P and Z people decide.
I know.
And
I
it
have a
also
sticker
points
on my
out the
car.
importance of elections, and
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
all of us go to the elections and we vote in people, and maybe we need to pay a lot of attention to who we're voting in and what are
What their slate is. Yeah.
right,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
When you had something you wanted to
I
say?
said, I've got the bumper sticker in my car, so saying, do something about it. Every day that I'm driving, people behind me will read it. Keep Ashford rural, no mega warehouse. I mean, people in other towns, wherever I go, that, you know, it's a magnetic bumper sticker that, that the group, the Facebook group, you know, they were offering those. And I've had mine for weeks, so at least I feel like I'm doing something.
Well, good, good. Well, I saw that big warehouse in South Windsor near the
Oh.
airport,
And
and
all,
that isn't even 1,000,000 square feet.
right, and all the tobacco barns are gone. All the tobacco barn, I used to love those. I used to photograph them. They're all gone and they are under concrete and warehouses. It's,
Well, that warehouse, one whole side of the building was all trucks.
yeah, oh, I know.
And they're talking about how many trucks are, I mean, you couldn't count. I was on the highway, so I couldn't
Yeah.
count them, but
Yeah, it's
it
amazing.
was huge.
Yeah.
All truck after truck after truck
Yeah.
after truck.
Yep, that's, yep.
There's just too much development happening here now. Every time I drive down a road now, I 195, everything is, it's all gone. It's like, okay, my
Wow.
CPA was here. They're gonna build the high rise, they're gonna have housing and for students and this and that. And then I just drive down a road all the time and then over by the Four Corners. No, wait, this is by
Where that,
Center, Store Center. There's another thing happening.
yeah, I know. Yukon is like building like crazy. I can't even believe how much construction is going on 195. It's, you know, it's starting to feel like Manchester or something. I mean, Mansfield is kind of, yeah, I don't know, or Stores at least. I don't know. And they're so close to us, you know, it's gonna keep spilling over. I don't know. I get depressed.
Well,
And
I'll
you
tell you,
didn't
I
talk
was
about it
listening to
before.
the
You only
woman
found out after.
who talked about biomimicry, Janine Benares, and she wrote this book quite a while ago about if you run into a problem, you look to nature and you figure out, what does nature do with this? And she was talking about what they're doing now is they're meeting with these big corporations and helping them create buildings and structures that have zero impact, that like you know, this whole thing, like the water going in is cleaner than the water going out, and that they have to, it was very interesting, they have to look at, okay, if your imprint is say 100 acres, what would 100 acres of trees do for the environment? So that building has to be constructed in a way that it will do what those 100 acres of trees would do. It's fascinating. Hear this woman talk. Go to the website. It's biomimicry, and she has all these amazing things. Like one thing was they looked at the owl wings are silent, and the reason why is there's this like frayed edges of the feathers on the downside there of the owl's wings, and so it cuts it, there's no noise. You see the owls, you don't hear any noise. And so they're designing wind turbines with this somehow to create this same situation, so that, because people complain about wind turbines make a lot of noise.
Yep.
And apparently this will not only cut down on the noise, but also the vibrations that I think people are concerned with birds. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But anyway, I was intrigued because what this woman is saying is that we have the information.
Yeah.
We just have to have the will, mostly, I guess, the political will, to work on this and create rules and regulations that mirror this and say, no, you can't do this unless you do A and B and C and D. So I was intrigued by that because I know I've read a lot about houses that are zero, that, they just put out as much as they take in, or however you say that. But having grown up in Manchester, where every day I saw the water a different color next to my house because all the dyes were coming from the paper mill, and we would play in that water. I'm sort of surprised I'm still alive, actually, but the water was a different color, let me tell you, every day. You know, I just thought that's the way rivers and brooks and streams
Oh,
work,
God.
you know? So, yeah, and you know, years ago, the rivers were burning. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody notice
And
that a
the
pine
Connecticut
forest-
River now has trout in it. It's clear enough and non-polluted. They cleared that up. It's
There are-
very.
There are shad that come up the Hudson for now,
There you
God,
go.
it's been like 20 years that the shad have already started coming up the Hudson.
Yeah.
breeding.
So
That's-
there's possibilities here. I mean, we have to deal with the fact that we have a lot of people on this planet.
Way too
And
many.
how do we manage and handle that? So that's what we're doing. I mean, that part of that big project there in Mansfield at Four Corners is there's a huge component of affordable housing in those units. And I think that's one of the reasons why that project finally got approved, because there's a big thing now with the state with
Mandate.
every town will need to do some portion of affordable housing. And so that helped that project get through. So it's just, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, certainly technology can do a lot of things. I know it can't change everything, but I have seen in my lifetime changes made. So it's like, well, we just have to make those changes faster, I guess, and be more mindful of what we're doing, you know? And like someone asked me, what did they used to put cottage cheese in before plastic? I think it was a cardboard container. Do you remember, Christine, when you were a kid?
I don't.
Uh-huh.
I
I
can't
think
pick.
it was paper lined with wax, like the old yogurt containers.
Paper lined with wax.
Lined with wax.
Uh-huh.
Remember that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Somebody asked me that, and it was something about paper, I know, but it couldn't have been plastic, right? Because
Right, because that's too new, yeah.
Remember the old yogurt containers? I just want to say, did anyone know that at the Big Y in Tolland, behind that, have you noticed the whole pine forest being destroyed? It's
Okay.
being cut down for housing. They're building condominiums there. And that was the most beautiful pine forest. I remember walking there, and I wish these developers would realize, leave some trees up, because that's going to make it more valuable. It's going to make it more beautiful. I mean, and just not like clear cutting. I don't really know fully what's happening. I just know that in like a few hours, they can take down hundreds of trees. And these are mature, gorgeous pines. And it's going to be, I don't know if there's any affordable housing going up there. Probably not. Probably just expensive condos right behind the Big Y in Tolland.
so that's right next to the highway, right?
That's going to be what they're hearing. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So that's Willington.
No, it's Tolland.
Holland, okay.
Fieldstone Commons, where you go in there,
Yeah,
there's like
yeah,
the
okay.
imaging center and all that. You just keep going, and then there's going to be these huge condos, and those people, I guess, well, one side there's like a swamp on one side that they're going to make into a pond, and the other side they'll look at the back of Big Y. And near
That's
the
not
highway.
inside the highway.
Yeah.
Ay,
All right, so there's both exciting things and not so exciting things in our world, but we do the best we can. We keep on going.
Well, then you know about the bird flu that's killing all the birds. You know about that?
That's
H5
happening again? Last year it happened.
Big time happening. It is killing eagles. Eagles are dropping out of the sky from being infected with it's H5N something.
Different than the flu that was happening last year.
No, I think it's the same, but it's expanded. But it's getting eagles and osprey and herons, and big birds, eagles and condors, California condors. I mean, some of these huge birds are literally dropping out of the sky. It's killing enormous numbers of songbirds, and all the poultry farms are like petri dishes for it. So, you know, it's like it self-feeds itself from the poultry farms, and then the wild birds feed the poultry farms, and you know, I mean, it's just kind of amazing. And, you know, the H5N1 was the one that, the bird flu that infected a lot of people, caused narcolepsy in a lot of kids. How many, 20 years now or so. So, you know, there's always a possibility that these things can mutate enough to spread to humans. So, you know, nature can maybe help us by killing us. Sorry.
Well, I thought there was a whole big story not too long ago, maybe a couple of weeks at most, of an eagle who was appearing like very sick and everything. And it turns out that was from pesticides.
Right.
That accumulation.
Right. But no, this is different. There was a New York Times article, maybe I think within a week, about the eagles dropping out of the skies, and the condors, the California condors, which, you know, we've managed to kind of start them up again, and they've now contracted them, and the shorebirds that congregate, or especially, there were terns off some islands where, I don't know, like something like 45% of the birds just died. You know, I mean, just huge numbers of birds are dying from this thing. So, and it's spring. We've got a whole summer ahead of us, and everybody's migrating. So, you know, that's like the perfect storm of passing everything around. And then the petri dishes of the poultry farms with zillions of chickens and zillions of turkeys. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. Sorry.
Do you have any more good news for us, Christine?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I get so pissed off. We're just a horrible species, but.
Well, you know, on the upside of things, Jennifer and Marion gave a talk at our AAUW meeting about their pollinators pathways and all of what they're doing. And the people there were very interested and very excited, asked a lot of questions. They had pamphlets and flyers about what to do. And they also told people to, when they go to their garden center, to ask the garden center people to carry native plants.
Right.
And to clearly label. And they said, if it's not labeled, ask, you know, the owner, are these native or not, and make sure you're only purchasing native plants. It was they did a really good job, I thought, and really captured people so that they came away knowing a lot of information that they probably hadn't known before. And several of these people, you know, really do like to garden. So I think they're going to open up and register more for the pathways. I know we have a lot of registered gardens in Ashford. So
yes.
So that's exciting. So that, you know, those things, and people in Ashford really jumped on this and said, yeah, we want to do this. And they opened it up. Anybody who wanted them to come, or if they wanted to visit, you know, their gardens, they were perfectly willing to do that. So I thought that was really good, and just spreading the word about all this. And I know Mansfield, Willimantic, and Ashford are really big on this. They've really done a lot. They meet as a group together to, you know, see what else can be done. So it's exciting. And the, you know, they do have seeds again at the library if people want any seeds. So that's very good. You know?
The other thing, so last year, I think, who wrote the No Mow May thing? No Mow May thing. See, there should have been another, there should be another No Mow May thing. Did I?
There is one. Jennifer wrote something.
Yeah. So it did, but if we don't get a citizen in May, that kind of.
No, we will. We'll get the citizen in May. The May is the last one that Sherry is doing. And what she said is that send the articles to her and she will pass them on to whoever is going to pick up the flag, or whatever you say, carry it on.
So there is a No Mow May thing in there?
Yes.
Good. Okay, because that's important too.
And
I think that's spreading also. Although I passed 3 people mowing their lawns this week, so.
My brother-in-law proudly told me he had mowed twice already.
Yeah, right.
I said, have you ever heard of No Mow May? He looked at me like I was from another planet, and his
Right,
daughter
I know.
looked at me like, you're really pushing it, aren't you?
My crazy sister.
So anyway, but okay, well, if nobody else has anything else, we can sign off and get
Yes.
ready for May and don't mow. Like all the billions of other people on our planet who must have short grass for some odd, weird, I don't know.
So that it looks like.
What about cemeteries?
Pardon?
What about cemeteries?
What about them?
We usually have our first mowing in May. We decide on how many mowings per year and all that kind of, and like from before Memorial Day, people want it all nice when they come to visit. Some people come from out of state. So I
You're not
don't,
gonna change that, Gwen. You're not gonna get people to walk into a cemetery that's not mowed,
okay,
put flowers on their veterans' graves and stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, there are limits to what you can, I mean, if one person, you can't do that because most of these cemeteries just have the mow go through, So, well, it would take a lot to
An
get.
act of Congress, right?
It
Well,
would,
let
it
me
would
describe
take
it.
people understanding that cutting grass is not necessarily the way to live, but that's a big ask right now in our country, so.
Yeah.
it's very expensive to mow, so you could, the pros and cons, you could
Well,
say,
if you could even put it off till the last week of May.
that's what we try to do, yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the amount of rain, but that's what we try to shoot for.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, well, when you get people thinking about it, sometimes, it
It's
happens.
good.
I think Jennifer and maybe Melinda were gonna go to the school to work on the No Mow May thing, I believe. So,
Cool.
yeah, they're on it, so.
Good.
It's in process and, it's gonna take a while, but, changing thinking takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah,
Sometimes it takes decades.
Okay. Sometimes it never happens, right?
All right, everybody, thank you for your patience and enjoy the rest of April and also May, and we'll see you sometime in May.
Okay.
All
Good
right,
night. Good night.
bye-bye. Good night.
Bye.